सो इस वीडियो में हम लोग बात करेंगे अबाउट स्टैटिक एंड काइनेटिक फ्रिक्शन। ठीक है। अब मान लीजिए कि एक हॉरिजॉन्टल सरफेस है। ठीक है। अब इस हॉरिजॉन्टल सरफेस में एक ब्लॉक रखा हुआ है। ठीक है। अब जब तक इस ब्लॉक में कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स एक्ट नहीं करेगा, ठीक है, इफ नो एक्सटर्नल फोर्स इज एक्टिंग ऑन दिस ब्लॉक देयर इज नो फ्रिक्शन। ओके। नाउ ये जो फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स है इट विल एक्ट पैरेलल टू द surface of contact. Okay. Now here parallel to surface of contact means we are talking about this direction. So friction may act in this direction or friction may act in the opposite direction, in this direction, depending upon the direction of the applied force. Now if the applied force it is acting in this direction, then the frictional force represented by the symbol small f, it will act in opposite direction to the applied force. Now similarly, in case friction force is acting in this direction, now similarly if external force is acting in this direction, then the frictional force will act opposite to the direction of the applied force. Okay. So that is one concept, key the direction of friction is always opposite to the direction of the external force which tries to move the body. Okay. Now this force will come into play only when there is a external force. If external force is zero, if there is no external force, in that case the frictional force is also zero. Okay. So that is what is written here. See, static friction does not exist by itself. Okay. Now static friction means, see, when the external force, suppose here we have two cases, case A and case B. Now in case A, this is the external force. Okay. Now it is acting on the body and it is acting from left side. Okay. Now this force, suppose it is not sufficient to move the body. So in that case, see, this is the frictional force here, this represented by Fs. So frictional force, it is acting in this direction, and this is called static friction because this force is preventing the body to move and the body is in static condition. So the friction that acts between the two surfaces, when there is no relative motion between the two, there is no relative motion between the two surfaces, then the friction is called static friction. Okay. Now under static friction condition, you have to see that the magnitude of the friction force and the magnitude of the applied force, they will be equal. Okay. So static friction magnitude will be equal to the applied force and static friction will be acting opposite to the direction of the applied force. Okay. Now it is for this reason we are saying that the object is in static condition. Okay. So static friction, it comes into play the moment there is a applied force. Now as the applied force increases, Fs also increases. Fs means static friction, remaining equal and opposite to the applied force. Okay. So as the applied force is increasing, the static friction is also increasing and the body is not moving. Okay. Hence it is called static friction. Okay. So static friction opposes the impending motion. Impending motion means that is motion that can happen but it is not happening. Okay. So the term impending motion means that motion that would take place but does not actually take place under the applied force. If friction were absent, means if there is no friction, in that case the body would have moved under the application of this force, capital F. Okay. So under static condition, the basic concept is, under static condition, static friction will be equal to the applied force, and so this is about magnitude, but if we represented this quantity in vector form, so there will be a negative sign. That is, static friction is equal in magnitude to the applied force. It is equal in magnitude to the applied force and it is acting in opposite direction. This minus sign shows that it is acting in opposite direction to the applied force. So if we draw a graph between applied force, okay, this is applied force and static friction, so it will be a straight line. and the slope will be 45 degree. Slope will be 45 degree. Why? Because we know that applied force is equal to the static friction, means under static condition. This is under static condition. Okay, this is under static condition. So from this graph, we see that as the applied force is increased, the static friction value is also increasing. Okay, and at this point in the graph, the static friction acquires a maximum value. So this is the maximum value of the static friction. Okay, so suppose this value is represented as Fs max. Okay, so this is Fs max. Okay, Fs max. So this is the maximum value of the static friction. Till this point, the object will remain in static condition. It will remain in static condition. Now the maximum value of static friction. Okay, this is the maximum value of the static friction, or it is called maximum value or limiting value. Now this is independent of area. Okay, independent of area. Okay, it is independent of area, but depends on normal reaction. Normal reaction. Okay, it is independent of the area, that is, it is independent of the fact that whether area is small or large, but it depends on the normal reaction. Okay, and how it depends? This maximum value of the static friction, Fs max, it is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Okay, now if you remove this proportionality constant, now if you remove this proportionality symbol, you will get a proportionality constant. Okay, now that proportionality constant, it is mu s into so that proportionality constant is mu s into n. Okay, now this mu s, it is called coefficient of static friction. So we have the relation maximum value of the static friction, that is the limiting value of the static friction, this quantity, it is equal to mu s times n. And what is n? N is the normal reaction. It is the normal reaction. Okay, it is the normal reaction. So this is the mathematical form of static friction. See, under static condition, we have seen that the value of the frictional force, it is equal to the applied force. Okay, and this expression, this is the maximum value of the static friction. That means if the applied force is increased beyond this limit, then the body will start to move. So next we will see what happens when the body starts moving. So next, let us see about kinetic friction. So see, now you have the horizontal surface and you have the block, and the applied force, it is increasing continuously, and we have exceeded the value of the static condition, and now the body begins to move. Okay, so whenever there is a relative motion between the two surfaces, this is the surface of contact. So whenever there is a relative motion between the two surfaces, this kinetic friction comes into play. So if the applied force is acting in this direction, this is the direction of the kinetic friction. Okay, now this kinetic friction, it is also independent of area. Okay, it is also independent of one is area, and it is nearly independent of velocity. It is nearly independent of velocity of the body. Okay, and it depends again on the normal reaction, as similar to the condition for static friction. So since it is dependent on normal reaction and it is directly proportional to the normal reaction, so we write Fk, that is the kinetic friction, it is proportional to the normal reaction. So if you remove this proportionality symbol, again you get a constant, and now this constant is represented by mu k. Okay, mu k times n, where this mu k is called coefficient of kinetic friction. Coefficient of kinetic friction. Okay. So with regard to static friction, we have Fs max. Fs max, it is equal to mu s times normal reaction. And with regard to kinetic friction, we have Fk, it is equal to mu k times n. Okay. So here this mu s is the coefficient of static friction and mu k is the coefficient of kinetic friction. Okay. Now it is quite common sense, like the friction which acts during motion, it will be less than the friction which acts in static condition. Okay. So this implies this value of mu k will be less than the value of mu s. Okay. The value of mu k will be less than the value of mu s. So if we draw a graph between the frictional force and the applied force. So see, under static condition we will get a straight line. Okay, so we will get a straight line. Now here at this particular point, the graph acquires a maximum value. So this is the maximum value of the static friction. Okay, this is the maximum value of the static friction. Now this maximum value of static friction, it has got a name. Okay, it is also called limiting friction. So what is the meaning of limiting friction, or what is the definition of limiting friction? Limiting friction is the maximum value of the static friction. Okay. So here we are getting a straight line. Now beyond this point, when the applied force is increased, so beyond this point we will get a slight bump, that is the friction has acquired a maximum value, and then the graph gets a downward turn. So that means at this part the body is moving. So here we have the kinetic friction. Okay, here we have the kinetic friction. So this graph shows the variation of frictional force with the applied force. Okay, so here it will be a straight line, because as the applied force is increasing, the static friction is also increasing, and then the static friction is acquiring a maximum value, and that is called the limiting friction. So limiting friction is the maximum value of the static friction. If the applied force is increased beyond this limit, beyond the limiting friction, the body will start moving. Okay, so here the friction force is called kinetic friction. So in motion we have kinetic friction, in static condition we have static friction. So अभी तक जो हम लोगों ने पढ़ा उसको हम लोग समराइज कैसे कर सकते हैं? Thus, when two bodies are in contact, okay, when in contact, each experiences a contact force. By the other. Now, friction by definition is the component of contact force parallel to the surfaces in contact. ठीक है, मतलब friction force will always be parallel to the surfaces in contact. ठीक है, which opposes the impending or actual relative motion. मतलब impending मतलब मोशन होने वाला है, मतलब मोशन हुआ नहीं है. मोशन क्यों होने वाला है? बिकॉज सम एक्सटर्नल फोर्स इज अप्लाइड. ओके, और देयर इज एक्चुअली मोशन बिटवीन एक्चुअल रिलेटिव मोशन, मतलब दोनों सर्फेसेस के बीच में रिलेटिव मोशन होना चाहिए. अगर दोनों सर्फेस एक साथ मूव कर रहे हैं उस केस में भी फ्रिक्शन की बात हम लोग नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है, सो देयर शुड बी एन इम्पेंडिंग मोशन और देयर शुड बी एक्चुअल रिलेटिव मोशन बिटवीन द टू सर्फेसेस. ठीक है, नोट दैट, यहाँ पे एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है, नोट दैट इट इज नॉट द मोशन बट रिलेटिव मोशन दैट फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स अपोजेस. मतलब अगर दो सर्फेसेस हैं, दो सर्फेसेस कॉन्टैक्ट में हैं, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे एक ब्लॉक है एंड इट इज प्लेस्ड ऑन ए हॉरिजॉन्टल सरफेस. तो इन दोनों के बीच में अगर रिलेटिव मोशन होगा तभी फ्रिक्शन फोर्स आएगा. अगर ये दोनों सरफेस एक साथ मूव कर रहे हैं, ये बोथ द सर्फेसेस आर मूविंग टुगेदर, so in that case frictional force will not be there, frictional force will be zero. So this is the important thing, it is not motion but relative motion that frictional force opposes.